Okay, I hope this works for you to see me, because of course my selfie stick that I use has broken right before, right? Of course. Last class, obviously, everything's just gonna break. So we're just gonna come start in our normal seated position. We made it. It's our last Taking Care of You class. It has really just been an honor to have you as part of my teacher training, and to be able to share yoga with you all. I hope you'll continue practicing. Obviously, I hope you continue practicing with me, but I hope you continue practicing with whoever makes you feel the most comfortable in your body. So tonight we're going to take it easy. Last week was really intense, so this week we're just going to try to take it easy. We're going to start with all of our usual warm-ups and sun salutations. Then we're going to move into some wide-legged poses, standing, that are really going to help us to feel grounded and will help us to stretch out our hips a little bit. And we'll use this grounded feeling, we'll carry that through into a new pose that we're going to try at the very end, which is tree pose. Our Shavasana tonight is going to be the same guided body scan that we did in our very first class. Then we'll come back together to center ourselves again and say goodbye. So our usual reminders before we start: your camera can be on or off, whatever is most comfortable for you. You are muted, or you're watching a recording. So make as much noise as you want. Yoga does not have to be silent. And be kind to yourself, please. So we're going to start off with bringing our hands in front of us and rubbing them together as fast as we can, creating some heat through friction, creating energy, getting the energy moving. Placing one warm hand on your heart, the other warm hand on your belly. Gently closing your eyes if that feels good for you, and just taking a few deep breaths. Keeping your eyes closed, hands on heart and belly, we're just going to listen to the singing bowl a few times. Listening for when you can no longer hear the sound. You can gently flutter your eyes open. And let's start with our neck stretches. You're going to take your right hand to the left side of your head, gently pulling your head towards your right shoulder. Again, being gentle, feeling the stretch in the left side of the neck. Gently release, coming back to center. And then taking your left hand to the right side of your head and gently pulling towards your left shoulder. Feeling the stretch down the right side of your neck. Releasing the hand, gently coming back to center. Now interlacing the fingers, place them behind your head and gently let the weight of your hands pull your head down toward your chest. Making sure the shoulders are pulling away from the ears. That will allow you to get a stretch not only in the back of the neck, but also down the upper part of the back. Gently release, bringing the head back to center. And then tipping your head towards the back, looking up towards the sky. Stretching out this front part of your neck. If you want here, you can open and close your jaw. Stretch some of that a little bit more. Make circles with your jaw. Stretching out the front part of the neck. Gently coming back to center. We're going to start our neck rolls with our head down and then rolling to whatever side you'd like to go first. Going at your own pace, but still slow enough where you can feel the stretch as it's happening. And switch to the other direction. Gently coming back to center. We're going to start backwards for our shoulder rolls. Up and back, forward and up. Making your shoulder circles as wide or as small as you'd like. Getting your arms in there for some more movement. And then the other direction, rolling them forward. Really letting all of that tension in our shoulders and in our necks that we carry throughout the day, just really letting all of that melt away. And coming to a stop, we're going to inhale and bring our shoulders all the way up next to our ears. Scrunch them up really tight, and then as you exhale, just letting them drop. Do that a few more times. Inhale, scrunching the shoulders up, 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 up. And exhale. Ooh, letting them drop. One more time. Inhale, bringing the shoulders up, up, up next to the ears or as high as you can get them. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And then letting the weight of gravity, just let them fall down. Let's do our twist. So our right hand to our left leg, anywhere on the leg, your knee, your thigh, wherever your hand will rest. Left hand comes behind you, can come to the mat behind you, can just come out behind you. And we're going to just gently twist our body to the left. Making sure that while we're in this twist, we're still breathing. As you inhale, lifting your body higher off of your bottom, letting the crown of your head reach up towards the sky. And as you exhale, maybe letting yourself twist a little bit deeper, but not forcing it. It's just a gentle twist. And on your next exhale, coming back to center. Opposite side. Left hand to right leg. Right hand behind you. Gently twisting your body to the right. Remembering to breathe. Seeing if maybe on your next inhale, you can feel that breath coming from the base of your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. And on your next exhale, coming back to center. All right, let's move into our cat and cow. So we're going to come into our tabletop position on our hands and knees. Using blocks, if you'd like, underneath your hands, putting a blanket underneath your knees for support. We're going to move into our cat-cows. So as we inhale, we drop the belly, lift the tail and the gaze. Exhale, pushing the floor away with your hands, rounding the back, looking in towards your belly. Inhale, drop the belly, lifting the tail and the gaze. Exhale, pushing away the floor, rounding the back, looking in towards the belly. Doing a few more of these at your own pace. When you're done, coming to a neutral tabletop position. From here, we're going to push up into downward facing dog. You can use the floor. You can use blocks underneath your hands. You can use a chair or a wall. Whatever works best for you in this moment for your downward facing dog. Tucking our toes underneath us, we're going to lift our hips up and back to downward facing dog. Stepping our feet forward to meet our hands at the front of our mat. Pushing down through the feet, rising up, hands to heart center. So now we're going to walk through our sun salutations. Starting at the top of our mat. Inhale, rise, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step yourself back and exhale into downward facing dog. Pushing your hips up and back towards where the ceiling and the wall meet. Letting your knees come to the ground. And on your exhale, bending the elbows, lowering your body all the way down to the floor. Prepping for cobra. Hands come in almost in the armpits. Inhale, lifting the chest up for cobra. Exhale back to the ground. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down to the ground. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale down to the ground. One more time. Inhale, lifting the chest up to cobra. Exhale back down to the ground. From here, we're going to push ourselves up back into our tabletop position. From tabletop, you guessed it, we're going to push our hips, tuck our toes, push our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Stepping our feet forward to meet our hands at the top of the mat. Grounding down to the feet, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, all the way through our sun salutation. Ground yourself in your mountain pose. Both feet planted firmly on the floor. On your next inhale, grounding down to the feet, rising up, arms come up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gently stepping back and exhaling into downward facing dog. Dropping the knees, coming to almost an extended tabletop position. And on your exhale, bending the elbows, lowering your body all the way down to the floor. Hands come in next to the chest. And inhale, lift the chest off the ground. Exhale, back down. Inhale, lift the chest off the ground. Exhale, back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Push yourselves back into your tabletop position. Tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Stepping the feet forward to meet our hands at the top of the mat. Grounding down through the feet, rising up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay. For this next piece, we're going to be, you can face the long side of the mat. If that feels comfortable for you, I'm just gonna tuck my shirt in so I don't flash everybody when I bend over. Okay, so for this next little sequence, we're going to have the feet wide. They can be hips width distance or a little bit wider, whatever feels more stable in your body. So finding that stability. Might go a little bit wider. Here we go. Inhale, arms come up over the head. And we exhale, hinging at the hips. Exhale, forward fold. If you want to have a block or two to meet you here in the middle, you can do that. We're going to stay in this folded position. So let's stay here for a couple breaths towards the center. Again, hands are either on the floor or on a block. From here, you're going to inhale, halfway lift. Move your body towards your right leg. You can bring the blocks with you. Exhale, back down to a forward fold. Bend the knees a little bit. Gives you a little bit more stability. We're focusing a little bit more on stretching out the right leg and a little bit the left hip. Inhale, halfway lift. Rotate your body to the center and exhale back down into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time we're going to move the body to the left side. Exhale, forward fold. Making sure there's a bend in the knee. Inhale, halfway lift. Move the body back to center. Exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, grounding down through the feet, pushing up, rising up, arms come up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that whole sequence again. So our legs are wide. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Again, coming to blocks or the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Move the body over to the right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Move back to the center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Move over to the left side. Exhale, forward fold. One side may be tighter than the other side. Depends on the way that we sit during the day. Sit in a chair, sit on the floor, sit in the car. All of these things affect what side of our body is tighter. Inhale, halfway lift. Come back to the center one last time. Exhale, forward fold. Really let your head hang. On your next inhale, grounding down to the feet, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. So now we're going to move into our new pose. This new pose is called tree pose. I'm going to show you a lot of different variations of it. And you pick whatever one works best for you. So tree pose is a balance pose. So we always start tree pose from Tadasana, our mountain pose, our strong mountain pose. So our feet are firmly planted on the ground, almost like you're sending roots down through your feet. We're going to start balancing on our left leg. So you're just going to shift your weight over to your left side. Now, for your right foot, it can come just to your ankle. You can tuck a block underneath it. So it comes up, you can't see there's a block under my foot. So it comes up a little bit higher. You can bring it so it's resting on your calf, pressing into your calf. Or you can bring it up so the bottom of your foot is resting on the inside of your left thigh. Do not place it on your knee. It's either on your calf, on your ankle, or all the way up in the inside of your thigh, but not pressing on your knee. Whatever feels good for you, using anything you need to balance. You see, I was using this shelf next to me. I can bring the chair next to me as well if I wanted to use that to balance. But just finding a little bit of stability in that left leg to bring your right foot either off the floor completely or just what we call kickstand. So your toe is still on the ground, but you're still balancing on that left foot. Now to help with your balance, you can find a spot on the floor or on the wall to just softly focus on. It's called finding your drishti, your focus point. So finding your drishti, finding that focus point, weight is in the left leg, playing around with lifting the right foot off the floor and trying to balance on your left foot. If you're able to find that balance, hands can come to the hips, hands can come to heart center, hands can come full up, growing your tree branches. Whatever feels best for you. We have a saying in one of my jobs that you touch your toe down and try again. So if you wobble and you need to come down, that's fine. Touch your toe down, try again. Ankle, calf, all the way up into the inner thigh. Whatever feels accessible for you in this moment. And it will change. Right now on my left leg, I'm not feeling so sturdy. So I'm going to stick with right at the ankle. Hands to heart center. Hands growing up into my tree branches. You can't see them up here, it's cut off, but imagine that they're growing. Coming back down, 2 feet on the floor. Grounding back down into our sturdy mountain pose. It's nice to kind of experiment, right, and explore and go beyond, but it's also nice to come back to the safety of home. And for us, the safety of home is here in Tadasana, in our mountain pose. So let's switch to our right side. I'm gonna bring the chair over for me for this one. Just so I have a friend in case I need it. So we're strong and steady in our mountain pose. Feet are grounded into the floor. We shift our weight into our right leg and lift our left foot either to our toe, to our ankle, to our calf, or all the way up into our inner thigh. Finding our drishti, our focus point, hands to the hips, hands to heart center, or branches fully grown. Remember, touch your toe down and try again. Find your balance on this side, play with it a little, see where you can get your foot to. There's no right or wrong way to do tree pose. You don't have to get your foot all the way up into your inner thigh for it to be tree pose. This is tree pose, this is tree pose, this is tree pose, and all the way up is tree pose. Doesn't matter. They're all tree pose. It is whatever feels good in your body. Tree pose can include holding on to things while you do it. Giving yourself a little bit of a moment to maybe try that balance and then come back to the safety. It's about exploring that space, that freedom of being on one foot, exploring, seeing what it feels like. And if it doesn't feel good, coming back down. So keep practicing on this right leg. You can bring your leg down and try again. Whatever feels right for you. I'm going to try one more time. See if I can get my branches all the way up. Coming back to the safety of mountain pose, of our Tadasana. We're going to turn and face the top of our mat again and just stand for a few minutes in our mountain pose. Grounded into both feet, growing roots down into the earth, lifting up through the crown of our head, lengthening the whole body. Finding that lift, but also grounding ourselves into the earth below. A few deep breaths here in our mountain pose. As you inhale, imagine pulling that breath from the floor up through your feet, up through your legs, filling your whole chest cavity. And exhaling it back down into the ground. Again, inhaling up through your feet, your legs, up into your belly and chest. And exhaling it all back right down into the earth. It might help for you to do some arm movements with this to imagine the breath flowing. So as we inhale, coming up, exhale, pushing everything back down. Again, inhaling up. Exhale down. few more times at the pace of your own breath. One more time for us together, inhaling up. And as you exhale, fold it down into a forward fold. I'm gonna grab my blocks. From this forward fold, we're going to do our last downward facing dog of the class, stepping our feet back, lifting our hips up and back. The downward facing dog. Dropping your knees to the floor, and you can roll over onto your backs. On your back, bending your knees, keeping your legs flat on your feet flat on the floor. We're just going to windshield wiper our knees from side to side. Giving our hips a little bit of a twist. Thanking them for the movement they give us. A few more times, side to side. For our last pose of the night, yogi's choice. You can either continue in your windshield wiper. You can keep your feet flat, like knees bent, and just sit here for a few minutes. Or you can extend your feet up using the prop under your back if you need it for waterfall. Extending the feet up, they can be bent, they can be wide bent in your waterfall position. Whatever feels good for you. But in whatever position you choose, windshield wiper, steady knees, or waterfall, we're going to stay in this position for 5 breaths. Starting now at your own pace. As you finish up with that 5th breath, you could bring your legs down or in whatever position is comfortable for you to be in. for your Shavasana this evening. Grabbing a blanket, blocks, pillows, whatever you need to feel nice and cozy and ready for a few minutes of rest. As you come into your final resting pose for the night, you can gently close your eyes. That feels okay for you. Let go of your intentional breathing and just let your breathing come naturally. Let the corners of your mouth relax. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let the tension melt from the space between your eyebrows. Allow your body to be completely supported by the ground below you and the props around you. And imagine you are at your favorite beach. Could be at a lake, the ocean, whatever it is. You're lying on your towel in the warm sand. You could hear either the water lapping or the waves crashing, the breeze through the trees, or the calls of the gulls. It's a nice warm day and you can feel the rays of the sun on you. Allow those rays of warmth to concentrate on your feet. Feel your feet warm up. From them being filled with sunshine. The warm sunlight moves up from your feet into your legs. And both of your legs start to fill up with warm sunshine. The rays of sun continue to move up, and now you can feel them on your belly and on your chest. That whole area, the whole trunk of your body is being filled with the warm rays of sunshine. That sunshine now begins to spread down both of your arms, from your shoulders to your elbows, your wrists, hands, and fingertips. The warm sunlight is now beginning to sprinkle down on your face. You can feel it on your chin, on your cheeks, across your nose, and peppering down onto your forehead. Your whole body is now full of warm sunshine. You lay there for a few minutes, allowing the sunshine to settle within. You start to bring your attention away from the beach, realizing that the towel beneath you is your mat. And the sounds of the water is the sound of your own breath starting to deepen. You invite movement back into your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. You can roll to either one side or the other. From this position, you can push yourself up to seated. Keeping your eyes closed, we're going to bring our hands out in front of us and rub them together as fast as we can, bringing back some of that warm sunshine. Place one warm hand right on your heart and the other on your belly. Thanking your body for this practice today. Keeping your eyes closed. We'll center back using the singing bowl again 3 times. You are worth the quiet moment. You are worth the deeper breath. You are worth the time it takes to slow down, be still, and rest. Morgan Harper Nichols. You can flutter your eyes open if they're not already open. Thank you so much for practicing with me. It means so much to have you all helping me out in this way. Like I said at the beginning, I hope you continue practicing, obviously with me, but it doesn't need to be. Have a wonderful night, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye, everyone.